Hey everybody, Eric Event here with SlashGear.com. Today we're going to be taking a quick look at the Acer Predator AG3620 gaming rig. Starting right off with the outside, I really like this case. I like the stripes that run down the side, and I even like the air vents. The air vents look pretty cool, along with the word Predator emblazoned along the side. And again, another Predator logo on the other side. No vents though, but a bunch of stickers about what the computer does and all of the tests it's passed. Of course, we've got expansion ports and DVD drives. That's a Blu-ray drive, actually. Oh, it only says DVD. Yeah, we've got expansion ports, plenty of them here. And then up at the top, we've got all the card slots you could probably ever want, including micro SD, and then multi-card slot right there. And then we've got two USB 3.0, two USB 2.0, headphone, microphone, and then the power button right there. Let's actually turn it around on the back before we talk about the hardware that's inside. On the back, we have, of course, the power jack, ports for mouse and keyboard, another two USB 2.0 ports, two USB 3.0 ports, and then another pair of USB 2.0 ports. So that's 6 USB 2.0 ports and 4 USB 3.0 ports in all. And then we've also got Ethernet jack, audio jacks, DVI right here, HDMI, and then of course right here we've got VGA and HDMI, but as the stickers say, those ports are not active. So, let's open her up. You'll see that there's not too much going on. There's not a ton of space in there because it's just a mid-sized tower. But right here we've got an NVIDIA GeForce GT630 graphics card. And then of course underneath this fan and the heatsink we have an Intel Core i7 third gen Intel Core i7 3770 processor. That's clocked at 3.4 gigahertz, but you can use Acer's Turbo Boost 2.0 technology to bring that up to 3.9 gigahertz. So you can get a little extra juice out of your processor if you need it. Also, we've got 12 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM right there, so that working together comes together to form a decent gaming rig. You know, you've got a 128 gigabyte solid state drive in there, along with a 2 terabyte hard drive, so you can install certain things on the SSD to make them load faster and stuff like that. But I think the bottleneck here is the GT630. You can overclock that i7, but the i7 is already pretty good. The GT630 is good too. It's not NVIDIA's best card, but it is up there. So the result when you're gaming on this is that with a lot of modern games you'll be able to turn a lot of the graphics settings up to high, but in exchange for that you're going to have to deal with console frame rate, which is 30 frames per second typically. I don't think 30 frames per second is a bad thing. A lot of people will tell you otherwise, especially if they're really hardcore PC gamers. But I spend time equally playing on console and PC, and frame rate doesn't really bug me as much as it bugs some people. So that being said, if you want a decent gaming PC that comes pre-assembled, that you don't need to buy all the parts and assemble it yourself, this might be it. I'm pretty sure this comes in around the $1,000 price point, which really isn't bad, especially for a gaming rig that can do what it does. Obviously, PC gaming enthusiasts are going to build their own computer, so this package wasn't intended for them. This is intended for the person who doesn't need the best, but just needs a capable gaming rig. And in that respect, the Predator succeeds. But yeah, bottom line, don't expect 60 frames per second with all of the graphics settings turned up. That'll just set you up for disappointment. On the other hand, you can expect a decent frame rate at 30 frames per second. For instance, Batman Arkham City, most of the graphics settings I was able to turn up to very high. Played at 1080p resolution. I got around 30 frames per second, but the visuals look great. And you know, that shouldn't be understated, because frame rate is important, but I feel like visuals are even more important than frame rate. Obviously, if we're getting down to 10, 15 frames per second, then we have a problem, but 30 frames per second is not bad. Even sometimes, like when I was playing Arkham City, it dropped down to around 20 to 25 frames per second at some points, I can live with that, as long as it's not all of the time, which it wasn't. It was 30 frames per second the vast majority of the time I was playing, so yeah, all in all, a decent gaming rig, not the best. It's not going to blow your socks off with all the power it's got under the hood, but it should get the job done nicely for those who don't care about having the best of the best. So be sure to check out the full review on slashgear.com, and thanks for watching.